Hello everyone, hope everyone's good. It is Saturday. It's really fucking nice out. I want to use this GoPro for a second to fucking see this view, right? Because it's very, very nice right now. Outside of the fucking COVID that you're seeing, the fucking, you know, high amount of people. Look, I don't even know about the COVID like restrictions anymore. At this point, I'm over it just because niggas are not listening anyway. So I don't know what the causal effect of this is gonna be, but you know, I'm not gonna get caught in that because that's not what this video is gonna be about. You know, but make an effort to get informed. I'm staying away from niggas regardless because, you know, I'll go into more details about that for my next video. This video is gonna be on, you know, the terrorist attack, blah blah. The terrorist attack that occurred with the salons. White supremacist boy, all that shit. You can check out my shit, but here's my main thing is where were Asians at? Like that's what I'm gonna that's what's gonna be maybe the title of my video, or where were Asians at. The reason that I want to say or where are Asians at is you're seeing a lot of people who are you know, say we must stand against racism, and you know, you get the same thing. These are not values that people want, you know, make the world a better place, you know, silence makes you complicit, you know, you can't meet with silence, blah blah blah, all this shit. The same thing I'm hearing a lot of shit from Asian people right now in the United States. I'm trying to figure now, and I know that racism has increased for Asians across the country, I mean across the globe, not just, you know, for the United States. But one thing I want to wonder about, and one thing I'm inquiring about is, where the fuck were all these Asian people for Black Lives Matter? Where are all the people for Black Lives Matter? I mean, where are all these Asian people who were supposed to be out for Black Lives Matter? If some of these statements that all these people are making about silence makes you complicit and all of this, where were you niggas in the crowds for BLM? I'm not talking about the few crowds, the few sets of people that you saw in California or like a Seattle. I just mean as a whole. You did not get the Asian community saying anything about race in the United States. Even when Black Lives Matter was going on and we were talking about racism in the past, you didn't really, it seemed like it was like a Asian Lives Matter or Asian people dealing with racism. Asian people dealing with racism versus Black people dealing with racism in the wake of George Floyd. It didn't really seem like there was much of a merge. And to an extent, you're still seeing this, where you're seeing Asians who want to talk about racism and how it's a problem for them. Meanwhile, they're not the people who deal with these problems economically the most. They're not people who deal with these things intergenerationally that are actually fucking them over, like economically. They're not. These are not the same. They're not dealing with these same issues. And it seems like there's not really an honest conversation about what characteristics we can pay attention to, which are going to impact people. And if they may impact people disproportionately, like things that may have to do with class and all these things, if we pay attention to it and we push for some consistency, people will be disproportionately impacted in terms of improving their lives. You haven't really seen much of like Asian Lives Matter or Asians in general in the United States, on the globe, make an effort to speak about how these struggles are very similar to Black people, or are similar to Black people, and how some of them even have to take their levels of how to an extent they have a level of accountability with regards to perpetuating white supremacy, perpetuating racism. It's a really interesting thing that I don't see these niggas doing it. A lot of these people dealing with racism, like these articles you're seeing, these niggas work in hospitals. These niggas work in businesses and shit. These niggas run businesses. What Black people do you know are even in those situations? To be honest, I don't want to play oppression Olympics, but the reality is you don't deal with the problems that Black people face. You don't, the type of racism that you deal with, yeah, it's a problem. Yeah, it's a problem, but it's nothing really that compares to Black people. Do I want to set some precision with regards to the extent to which people deal with these throughout their lives intergenerationally in terms of racism? Yeah, I want to have some precision, because when it comes to Asians versus Blacks, Asians really don't fuck with Blacks. interracial dating, in terms of there being progress, they don't really interact with black people. They interact with Indians, they interact with white people, they interact with Hispanics. Asians don't really fucking interact with black people. Now, I'm not gonna talk about these small groups about people who are okay, I'm not gonna talk about some of these people who fuck with black shit all the way, like their Black Lives Matter. I'm like Yeji, and who says like Yeji, or some artists and shit like that. I'm talking about how many people do you know are fucking K-pop artists? They love BTS. Let's think hypothetically. Do you think that most of the fans who support BTS, you think that most of the fans who support fucking Blackpink and EXO and all these fucking K-pop, do you think, while all of these fucking main groups that are Asian groups, are K-pop groups, while these groups have, what is it called? They have at least one rapper in their group, which is fucking Black culture. They dress like black people. They dance like black people. How many of these people who you know have these fans? What percentage of people do we really think fuck with black people, while simultaneously supporting a lot of art that is influenced by us? It's not there. It's not there. Asians have a history of being racist as fuck. This is true. This is true. Asians have a history of being racist as fuck. Japan, they've dealt with those issues for a long time. When it comes to whites, even white people know this. Even when it comes to, man, there's been so much that's happened with like Trump and all this shit. But even when it comes to the arguments that people had against immigration, when it came to white people talking about having some fucking ethno state, who did they use as examples? They used places like Japan, talking about how economically they're better off when they're homogenous. But the reality is, places like Japan are dealing with economic issues because they're so racist, because of some of the negative aspects that come out of ethnocentrism. Where it's gonna fall? You shit on women, you fucking don't like gay people, you don't want to interact with other people. Again, there has to be some precision, right? Because if we have precision about some of the toxic lines of thinking in general, I call them, whatever group does these toxic things, you can call it out. But what levels of accountability have Asians taken for perpetuating white supremacy? What social norms may women and Asian women play into when they date white men who want them because they fucking could make them faux or some shit? Where is that? You can check my other videos on that shit, but it's really funny that I hope the worst thing that I want to happen out of this is something happens again and then people are saying the same shit. I want to see results. I want to see more Asians being out here. Indians, right? Where did you see fucking Indians and shit saying Black Lives Matter or anything about black people when we were talking about, until Kamala Harris was fucking niggas found out she's half Indian? Where are these niggas at, bro? These niggas were nowhere. These people were nowhere. And Indians are Asian as well, so they still fall within. And even that case, Indians are very fucking isolationist. It's the same thing. They all do the same shit. But it's all about having consistency, I want to know where y'all at, and where are y'all at, and what are y'all views? Because we're not gonna make it seem like we're only gonna pay attention to you saying these positive messages. What have you done when you've been a part of it? I don't care about the sob story. I really don't care about who died. Honestly, that's another thing too. I really don't even care about who died. We are talking about these things conceptually. So the sob story and it doesn't really cut it. Because in the grand scheme of things, I don't even know their parents. I don't even know their mama. I don't even know any of these niggas. And we already know man. And one of the things that do happen in parlors is they will speak other languages and insult you and shit. You being American. So what could their mom have been playing into? Nah, am I saying that brought the consequences of getting shot? No. I'm just saying in general, understand the impacts of your actions later on. Sure, she was a loving person. Sure, all these people were loving. What they do, though? Sure, Asians don't do a lot. What they do in the workplace and shit, though? People need to have an honest conversation. What have other groups of people done? And I'm going to start with this. The last time we had something similar to this, it was when White women, the women's suffrage movement, feminism, which I am in support of, when they hijacked, when they wanted to improve when they coalition built in order to gain more traction, and after they got some of their rights, they didn't give a fuck about, they left the black movement aside. They left black women to the side. Now, I'm not gonna go down the route that feminism is cancer and this is why black women are the way they are. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we don't want another example where you want people to make an effort to have these conversations or improve the well-being of certain people, and it's not really for everybody, it's for their group, and then it's like, oh shit, your situation is kind of different. Yeah, we're not dealing with that, you know? And I guarantee you right now, there are Asians who don't think that Asians' lives matter is similar in terms of racism. Well, maybe in terms of their line of thinking, maybe like, well, then black people kind of bring it on themselves. What compared to Asian, you know, this is like shit like that, you know? So people need to have an honest conversation about it. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna post this, then I'll post another video. GG, all that shit. Love you all, be safe, read about COVID. It's just not a joke. I don't need to read because I'm staying away until May 1st. I got my vaccinations. I'm not going out when because May 1st we out here. That's gonna lead into my next video.